What's up guys, Aaron Bennett here. In this video, going over the latest Celsius Network documents and what happened in court today. So what I'm going to cover is what the UCC said. I'm then going to cover what Simon Dixon said about the hearing, also David Adler's tweets. I'm then going to touch on two different stories. The first one, the appointment of an independent fee examiner and what the hell that means. And the second one, they approved the expansion of the examiner's scope for looking into CEL token, which I'll get to a little bit later in this video right here. But before I dive into that, I want to just note the incompetency of the person running this uscourts.gov. So everybody who signs up to get one of these emails basically saying, hey, this is the call-in information for the hearing, they didn't use BCC, blind carbon copy, I believe. So you can see every single person's email address. It's absolutely insane. And she's done this many, many times. So somebody actually responded saying, do you not know how to use the BCC function in your email? This is terrible as you have now exposed all attendees' email addresses to each other. It's a huge breach of security and really, really silly. So anyway, let me head to the first one. The first story that came in today through Stretto, the order appointing an independent fee examiner and what this means. So I want to go over this story really quickly. This was already approved by the judge, but I just want to explain what this means and what this person's role will be. So this fee examiner will review and report as appropriate the monthly fee statements with everybody basically getting paid in this bankruptcy case. They will review final applications for allowance of compensation and reimbursement of expenses filed by retained professionals. So these are all the people that the UCC are paying. These are people that Celsius are paying. This is everybody in this case. But essentially, there is a judge, Christopher Sanchi, and this is going to be the fee examiner. This fee examiner may retain attorneys and other professionals. So again, it may cost the estate quite a bit of money. The fee examiner shall review and assess all applications filed by retained professionals. They're going to prepare reports. They're going to do discovery. So essentially, we are paying somebody else to hopefully limit the amount of money that we are wasting in this bankruptcy case. So taking a look at the next story, we have the approving of the examiner's motion to confirm the expansion of scope. So this is a big deal because in my video yesterday, I covered the fact that they wanted to look into CEL token. And this is what happened. So the examiner's motion is granted. If I scroll down here, it was signed by the judge, Martin Glenn, and I'll review what this means. Basically, they're going to look into the debtor's CEL tokens, including why and how other digital assets were converted into CEL tokens, and how these tokens were marketed, stored, and traded, including whether any of the debtor's trading practices involving CEL tokens generally or determinations of CEL token awarded as part of the Earn Rewards program impacted the value of CEL token. So I shared what I thought about this in yesterday's video. Essentially, they were always going on the open market to buy CEL, and the management team of Celsius was saying that yes, this is going to pump the price of CEL token up. So whether this was illegal from the start, I would be surprised about. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but the fact that they were using our crypto to pump up the price of CEL token, again, I knew they were doing that. This is nothing new to me, but when it's phrased in a way where this could have been illegal, that is news for me because I obviously never thought that was going to be illegal, and neither did the management of Celsius. Now, the fact that they were selling their CEL token while they were using customer funds to prop the price up, is that the part that is illegal? That is what the examiner will look into. I mean, maybe not. Maybe this is all a nothing burger, or maybe there is something here. All right, let's take a look at Simon Dixon's tweets first, and then we will head to David Adler and then the Celsius UCC. So for the hearing today, Simon says Jason Stone counsel is speaking today from KeyFi. The FTC is attending but not speaking, and Prime Trust attending. So the preferred equity, these are the people that invested in the Series B round. They claim GK8 and mining came from Series B. They believe that the Series B investors were represented, that they invested in mining rather than the lending business. So Simon's opinion is that the Series B did due diligence on the company, but there were massive misrepresentations. So this is part of what's going on now. We have these Series B investors essentially saying, hey, we want this mining company because that's what we invested into. And there's just misrepresentations going around, and we will see what happens from this. So next, the judge believes the preferred equity committee. That's the same one talking about here. Judge thinks no committee is needed as they have top counsel, so they don't need an extra committee. Kirkland and Ellis objected to the committee, and the UCC also opposes the committee as adequately represented. Basically, the Series B investors want a preferred equity committee to represent them, basically giving them better chances to get their money out first and to get ahead of everybody else. Kirkland and Ellis and the UCC are like, no, we don't want them to have that representation. Kirkland and Ellis discussed the GK8 auction. They're discussing auctioning off the earn, loans, staking, and mining. The judge, though, is not sure the bid can finish before custody issues are resolved. Next, they're debating the timeline of the bidding. They're trying to complete it before Christmas. The UCC wants the auction to happen the same time as the examiner report. The UCC confirms that they have not seen a Celsius standalone plan yet. So that's kind of a big deal. I mean, Celsius has had how many months to present a plan, and they have not presented a plan yet, and the UCC confirms that. And the judge is rightfully worried that there is a cash burn, and this is going to get very, very tight as the months continue, which I completely agree with. So next, the judge thinks the timing of the auction is reasonable, and this is how to provide maximum value for us, the creditors. The judge favors speed and wants this to happen quickly. The Texas State Securities Board, they are happy with the extension timeline if custody is resolved. So in my video yesterday, I showed that everything was moved about 3 weeks in the future, essentially when the bids need to be submitted. The bidders will be vetted by regulators. That's very important. Simon has talked about that a lot. Essentially, the regulators want the bidder, or whoever wins these assets or gets a restructuring plan approved, they want it to be completely compliant. So that's what he's referring to here, which is good. The judge is asking Texas to lead due diligence on the bidders. Now we have Manny Main. Now Manny is Emmanuel Herman that I've covered many, many times. He is pushing for a creditor-led plan. The judge is saying we won't get to speak to the bidders, but could object as the process progresses. So I believe that Manny is in favor of Simon's plan, or something like Simon's plan. The judge is saying we won't get to speak to the bidders, so that's what we already knew. Unfortunately, we won't get full openness and transparency about who is bidding and what their bid is, which is unfortunate. I wish we would get to know, but we could object as the process progresses. So basically, if there is a cash plus reorg plan, which Simon is proposing, then we as the creditor will get to vote if we want this plan to go forward. So next, custody is happy to negotiate a solution out of court as the proceedings continue. Celsius is using CoinCover as a custodian to hold our coins. The U.S. trustee is happy that the coins are secured, and here it says the transfer of coins has to happen by court order only. Obviously, that is the appropriate thing to do, and the judge is satisfied. We had a motion, I believe, yesterday where Celsius was like, hey, we are responsible, and we are being responsible for holding all of the customers' assets and coins. And I covered that in yesterday's video, and here they are just confirming that that is what's happening. Here, Prime Trust is to return $16 to $20 million to designated Celsius wallet, pending custody outcome and pending court approval, and the judge wants Prime Trust to speak to the UST. So what we have a lot of different outside lawsuits and also different companies that are repaying Celsius. We have Equities First, I believe, paying Celsius $5 million a month. Somebody asked me a question about my video yesterday about the coin report. Essentially, the whole is getting smaller. At least that's what a lot of people are saying. And they're like, how is Celsius generating revenue to make the whole smaller while they're paying these lawyers a ton of money? Well, Celsius is receiving some coins from staking, and also different companies are paying Celsius back because they owe Celsius money. Here talking about Jason Stone KeyFi. I covered this when I was in Moab about a month and a half ago, that lawsuit. Basically, the person that Celsius entrusted with, I think, over $1 billion worth of our assets to say, hey, you run the DeFi arm of Celsius. There's a lawsuit happening there. And Jason Stone said our coins were worth $1 billion at the peak, and Celsius requested return of coins but did not return them. So they have this lawsuit going on where Jason Stone says that Celsius owes them money, and then Celsius says that Jason stole their money. There is just this outside lawsuit happening. It's super annoying. Simon says that many coins are seen to be lost or stolen. Lost coins valued at approximately $300 million at the peak, and I'm hoping the U.S. trustee looks into this a little bit more. So more about the Jason Stone thing. He claims that there were agreements for profit sharing. Essentially, Jason Stone saying that if Celsius made money, he would get a part of that. That's part of his lawsuit. Celsius should have done accounting. Simon's opinion is, I can't believe our money was managed this way. And that is the appropriate response. Talking about the fee examiner, Kirkland and Ellis and the U.S. trustee are okay with this fee examiner, which again was approved today, like I showed you earlier in this video. The UCC also does not oppose this fee examiner, and this examiner's role is to keep an eye on the costs. The judge, though, says he is not a fan of the fee examiner, but will grant it because in his experience, the fee examiner will push down fees of other professionals, and then those fees are paid to the fee examiner himself. And barf emoji from Simon Dixon. So we will see what happens there. I think that in the long run, though, if unfortunately this Chapter 11 continues for a long time, that having a fee examiner will probably be in the benefit of all of us. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. And here Simon says that they doxed all of us through that email that I showed you right here, where every single person's email, if I can go through it right here, is completely public. It's absolutely crazy. So let's take a look at David Adler, what he has to say about the hearing. I'll include anything that is different or noteworthy. So he also talks about the judge being worried that the debtors are going to run out of funds early next year and funding concerns thereafter. So basically what will happen if this case drags on? The judge indicates that he feels a sense of urgency to get this case resolved quickly. And David talks about coin cover, which again will hold a backup of all the keys. And this is to keep our crypto or the estate's crypto, however that is determined, safe. So here the judge approves the motion for the examiner to conduct Rule 2004 exams, which are depositions. I actually covered this in yesterday's video. Essentially, this will give the examiner more power to get information both in document form and also to depose people who may otherwise not want to be deposed. And talking about the Jason Stone KeyFi issue, so essentially saying the defendants lost tens of millions of dollars in coins. And this goes back to what Simon Dixon's saying, I can't believe our money was managed this way, which is unfortunately where we're at. So take a look at the Celsius UCC. They said today's hearing is wrapping up. Judge Glenn heard arguments about the bidding procedures and preferred equity committee motions. He will issue decisions in the near future on both matters. Finally, Judge Glenn will approve the appointment of the professional fee examiner, which he already did. All right, guys, so that is it for the update. I just wanted to get this out to you guys, let you know what is up. How do I feel about this? Well, I feel like we need to get out of Chapter 11 very, very quickly. I do agree with Simon Dixon that the examiner will most likely uncover alleged fraud and illegal things. And when that happens, the chances of it going to Chapter 7 are very, very high. And that would not be ideal for any of us. That would be a complete liquidation, selling all of our assets, I believe, to cash, and just giving us cash on the assets like GK8, mining, everything. And that would incur a lot of really bad tax consequences for people that bought crypto very, very early. And let's say they bought Bitcoin at $10 and now their Bitcoin is being sold. And that would be very bad. I will let you know if there's anything you need to do to like write a proposal or letters or anything like that. Make sure to subscribe if you want to catch these updates. I'm covering this pretty much every day if there's good news to cover. And that's it, guys. So thanks for watching. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.